acquisition of the two languages by dual language learners is different from the acquisition of monolingual children in that language.
¿Cuál es más? ¿Cuál es poquito? ¿Uno o dos?
If the goal of the assessment is to learn what the child knows, and if we take into account that the child may know certain things in one language and not in the other,
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
then we need to look at what the child knows in both languages.
Pero ya ponle 4. Okay. Y aquí, cuenta aquí primero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
So children may know certain things in one language and not in the other. Learning may be distributed depending on where, they're exposed to those languages and what contexts, in the school, at home, academically.
If we have a center director or head teacher who's Arabic speaking at one school and we need some observations and we can't get a volunteer or a family member to come in at another school where the child speaks Arabic, then that person has to go over there, observe that child, and provide some input so that we know what we're saying. We don't want to guess about children's development, and we certainly don't want to score them low because they're a beginning English speaker. Like say I get a 3-year-old who's never been in school, only speaks Arabic at home, and then I assess him in English and Spanish. That's a big joke, right? So we want to make sure that the assessment's valid.
It is critical to look at the two languages and how they change over time so we can actually identify which children may actually need special services or intervention and which children may need a more focus on vocabulary and language development within the curriculum.
Say bear, bear.
And there are procedures for that. The desired results, developmental profile, English language development measures help a teacher understand what a typical progression would look like as a child is adding the second language.
哇，这很漂亮。你是最喜欢 L 吗？
我就喜欢。
你最喜欢这个？我还以为你会喜欢 B。
And then I think you need to develop and design ways to gather information from people who are native speakers of your children's language and who represent that culture. So they're not just bilingual, but they really have cultural insights.
我怕猫。你怕猫吗？ Yeah.
哎呦。
And you need to engage them as partners in helping you understand what did the child say when he came down that slide? Was he communicating something positive and productive to his peers? And I didn't understand it, so I missed it, and there's a whole pro-social competency that's displayed as this child's out there on the playground or whatever. It's also important to check our conclusions with families.
Esa meta la puse para ella para que también tenga más lenguaje y se pueda comunicar con sus compañeros, porque la veo que a veces es un poquito tímida cuando está en el salón. Yo sé, tal vez en la casa es diferente como ella es en la casa.
Because they can see how their child is developing, and is that child able to play with their peers, talk about what they want to eat, express their needs, things like that. So that parent's going to be able to tell us whether what we have seen in a more contrived situation around language development matches what they're seeing from this child in their everyday interactions.
Pero ella juega más en particularmente con su hermano, que como que se acopla bien porque mi niño también casi tiene el mismo carácter, es un poco tímido también, entonces.